Woo! Oh my gosh. My chair is stuck. Come on, get out from under there. There we go. Have you ever noticed that I'm really bad at starting streams? Let's get something on in the background so we're not just listening to my voice. Let's see. I need to turn my mic up as well on settings. How do I do this again?
So far past the stage of falling for you. I know you feel it too.
Settings.
Wanna get closer.
Oh, my PC is not liking everything that's going on right now. System, sound. Right. Let's hope that did something. It should do something. Turn it up a bit more just in case. There we go. Right. That should be very well done there. Why is the thing not up? OC review, stream 2. Let's see. Well, quite a few interesting ones this stream. We've got quite a lot this stream. We've got more this stream than we did last stream. Also, hi to everybody coming in. We're just still setting up for anyone coming in. I have like a bazillion tabs open, which is not helping. That's not the right one. Properties. Right, why isn't that working? It worked last stream. I guess I'm just gonna have to add a different source. Window capture, add source, add new source. Yay! It's not in the right place, but we'll deal with that. Down, 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 down. There we go. Woohoo! Okay. We're actually somewhat set up right now. And we'll just like put the first one on for now, which is this one. And we'll give everyone just another little bitty to come in. If you're new here, hi. My name's Moth. I am a My Little Pony OC artist. My sole income is drawing ponies, and what we're doing today is reviewing a couple of community ponies that people have submitted, some OCs. I am not a professional character designer, but I have been drawing My Little Ponies for a very, very long time now. And it gives me a little bit of insight as to what tends to work and what doesn't, and what I've noticed over the years, meshing a bit more into not just my own style, but other people's art styles too. And we're not here to slam anyone's OCs. I refuse to slam OCs. Everybody's character is unique to them, and we're not coming from a professional character design standpoint. When I'm approaching characters, I like to approach it from, if I were to make my own TV show, what would work and what wouldn't, and what I just tend to find meshes a bit better. If you're new to my Twitch, you'll also know that, well, you will not know that my alerts don't work. I'm really sorry about that. The alerts do not work in the slightest. Not the follow, not the sub, not anything. The alert box is broken and I cannot fix it. So I'm really sorry if you chime in here and I don't know, but I appreciate any follow, any sub. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much. If you do any of those things, I just won't see it on the screen. Sadly. But yeah, so who's in here now? Hyper. Hi, Hyper! E-Trip, Stacy, 200 Cups, Moonlight. Hi, Weary. How are you guys doing? It's so nice to see you all. I have a milkshake. Sippy sip. I will be lurking as I'm cooking. That's fine. You do them chef things. But yeah, we'll give it... What time are we at now? 10 past. We'll give it till 15 and then we'll start. Just to give anybody who wants to come in and join the live just a little bit of time. Prefacing this time, as there was a lot of DMs after last stream. Yes, there will be a VOD uploaded to YouTube that records the whole stream. It'll be unedited. It won't be... I'm not very good at editing, so it's just going to be this stream uploaded to YouTube after. The only OCs that I have not reviewed from the original post are OCs that were made using AI. OCs that I couldn't see the full body or colours. And some of the Ponytown OCs that were submitted were a little bit too degraded to make out very well. But other than that, everyone's in. We're doing 4 streams. This is stream 2. And I'm really sorry it's taken a little bit longer to get to stream 2. And we had to reorganise it a few times. My house started leaking the day that we were meant to do it last time. So we're doing it now. Aloha, banana na na na. Do you like bananas? Banana na. If you're sending now, it's a bit too late. We do have over 200 OCs to review. We did 50 last time, so we've got another 50 today. And yeah. But I will do another one soon, I promise. It's also really, really hot here, so I'm not also at my best today. But we'll get to it. What time's it now? 12. 3 more minutes. This one's really cute though. I recognize his art style as well. Don't forget to drink water. That's a very good point. I have a milkshake here. I don't have any water. No, I'm not still sick. Oh my god, the alert worked. Hi, Brycey Pooh. Bryce's best friend Bryce, who's not a brony. We should all make him feel super comfortable. Gooping my tree, very, very good. Very good, Brycey Pooh. Oh my god, no. What are you doing here? My partner's friends are descending upon us to look at ponies. They have descended. Flame brush. I may as well start looking while we wait. We have quite a it's a very long line of OCs today. A very, very long list to get through. I think this stream is perhaps the longest one. Maybe not. Stream 3 is pretty long as well, actually. Yeah, I'm waffling. No, they're all equally as long. Goodbye, Pingu. Be free. Do crimes. I know you will commit many. Right, 15. We shall start. Let us begin. Yeah, I really shouldn't tell him to do that, actually. That's true. I'm trusting you will do damage control in my absence. Not that I can control him at all. Yous are throwing me for a loop. Go and play some games. Go play some games with the Ruby. Right, we will begin and pretend that I don't have an audience of IRL people that know me. Again, we start with the iconic Zeeb ponies. There are many ponies that I have reviewed already who have all been zebra hybrids. No zebras as of yet, actually. No full zebras. A very underrated species of OC. But I really like this character. Originally, my first thoughts is very, very red. Very red. And while I love red, this is maybe just a little bit too much red. I think I wouldn't actually change much in this design. I think I would only change the eye color. Just to be something not red, perhaps. Because everything is so red, we don't have much of a focal point. Although the white around the face does frame it really nicely. And the earrings, I do like that we've got some different colours in the earrings. I think what I would like more is see these colours that we're seeing in the cutie mark, the sort of more oranges and yellows. I think I'd like to see that in the eyes as well. Or at the very least, this sort of pink colour going up in this hair stripe here. I think seeing that in the eyes would be really nice too. The stripes only seem to go down one leg that I can see. Which, you know, this is fine. They're very tapered stripes, which are quite nice. I do like the pattern that they've given it. Yeah, I think honestly all I would do to change this design, not that it really needs changing, but if I were to nitpick, I think the only thing I would do is just add in another colour not from the red spectrum. I would lean into the orange or even an entirely different colour. I think blue or green would look quite nice as well. Or even purple, actually. But a very cute OC. I'm always a big fan of white mains. I don't know why, I'm very partial to it. If you've seen any of my own OCs, you will have known that that's what I'm into, because I have quite a few with white mains. But very, very cute. Next OC is, we're going to fly it now. Last time we did quite a long time. These streams are much longer than the first stream. I was kind to myself in the first stream because I was ill, but we've got a lot of OCs to get through today, so we are going to have to try and speed through it at a relatively quick pace to get this done anytime this century. So this is a Karen, I want to say a Karen Alicorn, almost. I really like this design. I don't know if you can see, but I really like the horn. It like splits off into like trident shapes, which is really nice. This OC's obviously got a little bit of volcanic stuff going on here. I really like it in like the wings, but I think maybe it's a bit too much. When you have a feature like this, I think I'd like to restrict it to like one or a couple of places. I think perhaps I would leave it on the wings. I would take it away on the wings, but I love it on the feet. It looks gorgeous going up the hooves. I think you could even take it a step further by making the in between the cloven toes a really sort of magma-esque colour to show the split between there. I think is the only thing I would do differently. I would keep it in the hair and the feet, but I would maybe take it away from the wings and perhaps the horn as well, just to make it more of a standout feature. But it's really well done. I'd love to draw this character. I also really enjoy the anthro form as well. I very much wish I could draw my OCs like this, so props to the artist for drawing this, because I find this so difficult to draw. But yeah, really gorgeous. I am guessing that this is more powerful than the average Karen. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with powerful. Bunlight seems to be the artist. Very, very well drawn Bunlight. I'm really loving like the particular shapes in the hooves. Sorry, we're not doing an art review. We're not. I need to keep on track. But yeah, I really like the shapes. I also like the shapes in the mane and stuff like that. I feel like sometimes Karen manes with the shape of it can make it really hard to make individual hairstyles. But you know, I feel like this is still quite individual with like, especially with that very large curl here. But yeah, I'm very fond of this. Would I do anything differently? The eyes do stand out a bit. They're very pale greyish compared to everything else in the design. I'd also be really tempted to give this OC glowing eyes. Or something a little bit warmer. It does create a focal point though, so I'm not totally sure in my assessment of that. We are looking at the face quite a lot here. But yeah, I think the only thing I would change is I would restrict this effect to just the hooves and perhaps, maybe not all of the hair, but sections of the hair. And perhaps take it away in the wings so we have got more of a feature of it, and so the silhouette isn't so broken up by the very many busy lines. Is all I would do. But gorgeous design. Our first Ponytown design of the day. I think I remember this being a little sheepy. Very cute monochrome palette. I think we've got a little bit of a Christmas theme going on with the holly in the ear, if I'm right in thinking that. Obviously, Ponytown OCs are a little bit hard to review, just because of it being such a small sprite. But I think the only thing I would do differently is this horn. I'm guessing this is a horn behind here. It blends in very easily to the silhouette. I've been around quite a lot of sheep in my life and goats and things. Purely because I used to grow up in like a sort of agricultural area. A lot of the time, horns are actually a very similar colour to what they've got on the little cape here. But they can be grey as well. But I would be tempted with this design to actually give the horns a different colour than grey. I wouldn't do white because that would continue into the hair a little bit more. But I think this colour that we've got on the coat here would look very nice in the horns. The eyes are closed, so I can't review eye colour, but if I were to choose an eye colour for this character, I think I would probably choose red. A red or a sort of gold colour. Yeah, like the little accessories and that. I always love when people give sort of goat or sheep OCs or even cow OCs sort of like, I know this will most likely be an earring, but you could do like sort of tags, like what you would see like in farm animals and stuff like that. I've seen quite a few ones where they've made like a jewelry out of the idea of a farm tag, and it's really nice. It's a really nice touch for someone who's grown up in that sort of environment. Who is next? Juan? It's a very nice stallion design. It's quite nice to see some stallions as well. Although I don't have, well, I do technically have stallion OCs. I have a next gen stallion OC, but it's quite rare to find people using stallions around the place, especially like, most of the OCs you see are usually mares. So this is really nice to see a stallion for a change. I love the fur and the gradient from like the sort of very light beige to a sort of peachier colour. It's really nice. And I really like the hair. You know, if I were to put these two palettes together, all these palettes in the bottom here, I would be a bit like, oh, do these go? But this actually goes really nicely. I think the only thing I would do differently, and this is a purely biased opinion, because of my own preferences, is I would add some fluffy hooves to this boy. But I'm not really sure what colour I would pick. Perhaps the same colour as the eyes? But yeah, this guy's giving me like soft emo vibes, which is really nice. It's quite nice to see a blend of soft and punk. It reminds me a little bit of myself. I kind of dress half and half a lot of the time. My partner's very punk and I'm either in full mum vibe outfit with jeans and a jumper, or I'm going just as alt as they are. So it is nice to see an in-between. It's a really lovely reference sheet as well. It's like, when I look at reference sheets, I'm usually looking for something like this, where there's no shading. I can see the characters' features from multiple angles to see how they would work. It's exactly what a reference sheet is supposed to be. So really, really nice character, really nice reference sheet, and would be a pleasure to draw. Now this one is really, really nice. The greyish spots? Where are greyish spots? Do you mean in the mane? I'm not seeing any grey except for the black in the hair. Perhaps the black in the hair. No, I think it works okay. But I could see where you could be coming from. It'd be quite nice, I think, if he had like a little accessory, or if we could see a cutie mark that had the purple and black in it, perhaps. But no, I think he's quite a nice balance, to be, in my own opinion. Let me see. This girl is next. This is a very, very unique design, and what I want to talk about first is this gorgeous cutie mark. It's very detailed. It's very, very detailed. And while it looks a little bit busy on more canon shapes, I think if you were to incorporate this into a slightly more stylized art style, this would look really nice. It's a very nice cutie mark. The character is very unique. I'm getting bird, wolf, pony, dragon, I think, is what I'm getting from this design. Fallen Hide, you've missed just a couple of OCs so far. We're not too far in. So yeah, I need a second to think about this one. It's very busy. I would say perhaps just a little bit on the smidge side of too busy. But it's a very interesting design. I really love the gradient on the horns. this sort of wolfy paw thing, I can't tell if these are like sort of maybe socks or if they're like sort of mismatched limbs like Discord would have. And we have some what look like dragon spikes down the tail. I think if I were to I think I would perhaps simplify this design just a smidge. I think one of the things I would take away is this very, very bright pink in the mane. We see this in the cutie mark, but I think I would like to see this incorporated in a softer way, perhaps a gradient through the hair. Just as with so many things going on, we have quite a lot of like converging shapes going on at once. I think I would also change the black outer feathers into this purple or pink we have in the paws to make it a little bit more cohesive. Big fan of the eyes. I'm quite fond of dark scaleras. This is maybe a smidge too dark. I would actually maybe make the dark sclera probably this darkest purple you see. You see the outline of that feather there? That really dark purple there? I would probably make that the dark of the outside of the sclera. But yeah, I love the horn design. I think I would just maybe want to see this mane simplified a little bit, and perhaps the black restricted just to the mane rather than in quite a lot of different places of the design, like the wings and such. But it's a really lovely design. I mean, the cutie mark, gorgeous. We have the same metal used for all the accessories, which is quite nice. But yeah, I think just a smidge little change. I'd love to know what this character is. I'm leaning on Draconicus hybrid, perhaps, with the very signature mismatched limbs. If these are even mismatched limbs at all, I have a funny feeling these could also potentially be little costume socks. Potentially. I must take a sippy so I don't lose the voice, but does anyone remember the original Animal Jam? Is anyone old enough? I used to love Animal Jam. I used to really love Animal Jam. I was so sad when I found out they got rid of like their original sort of 2D game and made this weird 3D thing and restricted it to mobile. I remember going back like as an adult to be like, play this game. I used to play it as a teenager. I remember going back as an adult to be like, oh my gosh, this nostalgic games is still going. And I was like, what has happened to it? What have they done to it? I was so upset. Also, as an OG player, I know some of these items are quite expensive on that character. The cuffs in particular, I think? I might be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure those little wolf cuffs were some peak trading back in the day. But no, I'm going down a bit of nostalgia lane here. This is quite cute. It's very busy getting translated into a pony design with the markings. But I mean, it is supposed to be that wolf as this pony. And it pretty fits that brief, you know? If I were to separate these two designs entirely and just focus on the Karen pony design, I would possibly turn the filigree markings from this very, very bright red to possibly a lighter grey. Maybe either slightly light, just a smidge lighter, or a smidge darker than the pre-existing coat. I would restrict the red to perhaps just certain highlights in the mane and the accessories. But if we were to strictly go on what the person was going for, which is obviously to have turned this wolf into this pony, it kind of, you know, it's kind of succeeded. I think it would be quite nice to maybe change, if you were to not go for a Karen, if you were to add that headdress in, it would be pretty cool. LMO, I remember being like 8 and begging for spike collars in public lobbies. Oh, I remember when the. I don't think I ever begged for spike collars, but I think oh, I would have been about 15, and I was drawing like the little pictures you could draw inside the game. And a lot of people gave me rare stuff for me to draw pictures of their little characters within like the picture maker in the game. But yeah, I would slightly restrict the red if I were to separate these two designs entirely. I kind of really love the big bow and the cuffs though, and I really love how the artist has drawn these feathers are glorious. Look at the line work on those feathers, they're gorgeous. We also have, again, I love the dark sclera. This time it's not jet black, which is quite nice. Sometimes I don't want the sclera to blend in with the line art, just like dark enough that we can see it's separate from the line art. But you know, I really like that, and I really love the little white pupils and the feathers. So yeah, I would, if I were to like rate this design, like review it and like be honest, I would say the red filigree isn't totally working for me on the pony design. But as a direct translation from that to that, I kind of see it, you know? I'd even be tempted to make it a little bit even more wolfy than it already is. Giving her a little bit, him, giving them some fangs. Or something like that. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, this is a really interesting design. I would also maybe take away, see this white line separating the scaling from the rest of the body. I would maybe take that away as it's a little bit of a tangent and there's already quite a lot going on here. But yeah, it's gorgeous. It's a very unique character. Now, this character, obviously gore warning. I picked this person submitted a few characters. I picked this one in particular because I want to talk about this. Now, I love really unique characters, so this character is very unique. And I wouldn't change a thing about this design except I would make the eyes glowing. And I would make them glow the same colour that we've got going on the shine in the horn. Well, the horn, the sword, the sworn. I would make the eyes glow the same color as the blade. The blade making a unicorn-esque is something that we see throughout quite a lot of paintings. I'm not sure if there's a historical painting that it ties to, but it is something that has floated around before, and I've never actually seen it done before in ponies. I've seen it in other people's horse OCs and across different equine OCs, but I've never seen it done in a My Little Pony before. And I think the only thing I would change is the eyes not being hollow. I would honestly make the eyes glow like fire, like the blade. It would make for such a cool, sort of dramatic character. But this is really nice. It's really cool, which is why I picked this one, because it's probably one of the most unique ones in the batch in regards to theme. So that's why I chose this one. Let's see who's next. Fireblaze. A lot of fire OCs. I'm very partial to the fire theme myself, so I rate it. Now this OC, the wings don't totally work for me in this OC with them being so segregated. Now, I am a hypocrite saying that. Let us all give me 10 lashings for saying that, because I've made multiple Pegasi over the years with mismatched wings. But with it being very opposite ends of the colour spectrum, I'd maybe like to see these wings be a different colour. Or perhaps it be more obvious that they're maybe magic wings and make them glow a little bit. I'm assuming this cutie mark is perhaps a comet or a blade. Like a blade? A comet or a blaze was what I was trying to say. I'm still thinking of the last OC here. I can see the sort of fire tones in the auburn hair. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this character is probably a Sona, Now I'm getting that because a lot of people will include their natural hair color in their sona, including myself, and I can maybe see that this has been the idea for this hair, and then the rest of the design, the blue would work fine, but with the yeah, I would maybe change the color of the wings to merge just a bit more. I would perhaps also change the color of the eye to the same orange of the cutie mark, and I would maybe change the wings either to the same blue as the body or perhaps a slightly darker blue to keep the segmented look if that's what you like. But it's a really solid idea. I love the shapes that you've done in the main. You can really see the volume here, and you can sort of you're this is really nice. You can imagine this in 3D, what this would look like in 3D, which is something I always try to do in my own designs. I always try to imagine how this would translate into 3D when I'm drawing it in 2D. But yeah, I really love the face shape. The droopy eye shape is really endearing. I think I would only change the wing color, and that's it. A realistic flame color gradient? Yeah, perhaps, yeah. Let's see who's next. Calming lights. Now, ooh, very interesting OC. I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess that this OC is quite old. And the only reason I'm saying that is see the sort of the darker tips at the end of the hair. This is something that you saw a lot in sort of when Ponytown first came out. And a lot of people were experimenting with that marking specifically that was in the Ponytown hair. And you see it a lot in sort of OCs pre-2020s. So that is purely a guess. I'm sorry if it's not, but I am guessing that from the darker tips on the hairs. Very, very monochrome. I really love the cutie mark. It's giving very Archangel militia vibes, I'd say, maybe. As well as like paired with the earrings. I really like this cutie mark paired with these earrings. That's really cute. I would say this design is a little bit close together in values. The scarf being darker here does a very nice job of breaking that up. But I think I'd perhaps simplify this a tad either by making this hair purely white or a more stark white than what is quite a grey. I would perhaps even make it the same white that we see in this shirt down here. If you were to draw this without lines, you would see that the values would start to blur into each other a little bit. The grey on the wings blends in quite closely with the same colours in the cutie mark, so I would even be tempted to make that grey on the secondary wing scarf. I cannot speak today. I am so sorry. The gradient on the secondary wing feathers. There we go. It was not that hard. I would make that the same colour as the dark of the scarf or the pure white of the top, just to break up quite how melding all these colours are together. Don't get me wrong, none of these colours are out of place. It's just that there's so much of it in a very similar sort of saturation and value range that it gets lost just a little bit. But this OC is very interesting. I'm a big fan of monochrome OCs. I really love that you've got the fluffy hooves down here. I love the jacket. I especially love it with like the sort of aviator scarf going on. It's very nice. So Lumi Angler, this is really cute. Let me give me a second to look over this one. I'll take a sip at the same time. Have you guys ever seen sea bunnies? Like the nudibranches? I think that's how you pronounce it. Nudibranch? Oops, I clicked off the thing. I would love to see a nudibranch in real life. They're so cool. I've heard they're incredibly poisonous and you do not touch, but I think they're so lovely. I love that some of them genuinely do look like little rabbits as well, hence like the sea bunny thing. This OC is very cute. I really love that. I love the era of pony OCs that were before like the sea pony hippogriff era, where you get some sea ponies. I think one of my very first OCs was a mare pony. And sometimes I wish I could bring her back. I think I made her when I was about 13. I don't think she's ever graced the internet at all. Um, but yeah, this is a really lovely character. I'd say the color palette, the grey is a little bit lost on me, just a little bit. Perhaps a slightly more blue grey, perhaps. But other than that, I wouldn't really change anything. It's got a very nice silhouette. The eyes are like a different sort of hue, slightly. Well, no, they're a very similar hue actually up here to the wing here. I think there's only I would make maybe a couple of color changes and that would be it. I love the scales that we're seeing on the body, even on her pony form. Fluffy hooves, big fan of fluffy hooves. I like that the tail, it's hinted that she has a tail, is still hinted on in the pony form with the green on the back hooves. I think on the actual pony, like mare pony form, I would continue this green fully up to fishtail. In a Disney-esque, I guess, sort of way. And maybe some heavier scaling. I'm a big fan of fish scales, though. Take this as a pinch of salt. She's really cute. But yeah, I think just a couple of very slight color changes was all I would do differently. She's gorgeous. Now, Sugar Swirl. This image is very small, so let me zoom in here. She reminds me of a G3 pony. And Sweetie Belle. I love the hair though. I love the sparkles through the hair. The cutie mark is very cute. It's the cutie mark that's making me think of G3. I could swear there was a G3 toy that I had when I was younger that had that cutie mark. Or something very similar to it. It's giving me a lot of nostalgia. The heart on the hoof. Also, let me just search that. Was it G3 that had the hearts on the hooves? It was. At least on some of their official art, it was. I don't think they did it on the actual show, but it was on the toys and on the official art. That's a really cute callback, having the heart on the hoof. Starcatcher? Maybe? Let me just have a look here. G3 MLP. It might be the Starcatcher toy I'm thinking about. I don't think I had Starcatcher, but I think my friend did. But yeah, it's nice. It's a very sweet callback to earlier gens, which I always really love. But yeah, I have no notes. There's not really anything I would change in this design. I like the purple breaking up the pink, so it's not too samey. But yeah, I wouldn't change anything. This is very cute. Maybe at most I would change the bow to be a different color. But no, very, very sweet. I love the name as well, Sugar Swirl. Now, this OC reminds me of, I don't know why, but like 8-bit pixel games. Hello Alice, welcome in. Yeah, I don't know why this pony reminds me of 8-bit pixel games. Somebody help me out here. Why am I getting that? Let me just evaluate. I kind of want to know the story behind the cutie mark. How the apple and the bulb tie in together. Could it perhaps be a next gen? And this be some callbacks to the parents? I'm not quite sure. But I really like the main colours. It's not a combo you see often. And yes, they are very different colours, but it actually works in a very nice way. I think because the blue goes into the yellow before the green. Bright Apple is a cute name. I agree. I love this sort of like I'm a big sucker for like the sort of the curly ponytail designs. I'm also sorry if I'm misgendering anyone's OC, but no, what would I change? The orange is very out left field from the rest of the design. I would maybe go with the same yellow as that bright bulb there. I think that's the only change I would make. I like that the white and the hooves are kind of a feature by themselves. Maybe another bit of... Well, to be honest, if this OC wasn't drawn in this style, you would see the whites of the scleras, which would also tie in with the whites of the hooves, so that would still work. I'm thinking out loud here. I really like it. It's a very charming design. But yeah, the only thing I would change is this orange in the eye. It's a little bit disconnected from the rest of the design, and while it does make a nice focal point, still looks a bit out of place, so I would maybe change it to the same brightness but of perhaps either the green or the yellow of the bulb is the only thing I would change. It's a really cute art style as well. Right, on to the next. Oh, right. Yes, okay. I want to talk about this OC. First of all, now if you were to look at this OC, there's something I want to point out. It's very clever. If you were to close this OC's mouth, and you were to just look at this OC, you would already notice there was something a little bit not ponyish about them, because of the eye shape. Now, real life horses do have that elongated pupil horizontally, but in ponies you don't tend to see it, especially within the show. And it's the first sign that something's a little bit amiss. And when they open the mouth and the shark teeth in there, then it ties in. I just want to like point those two bits out because I find it a very cool detail that even without the teeth showing like that, there is a hint to something not quite, a little bit uncanny valley about this character. Very striking hoof patterns. Now, I'm not a huge fan of horizontal stripes on the legs, but this has been done in a way that's still following the shape and lines of the body. So if you see, this line here is sweeping down with the leg. Instead of just cutting straight across like you would cut some meat, this is actually flowing with the form of the body, so I actually really like it in this design. This cutie mark up here is also really cool as well. I think the only thing I would change is this blue of the necklace still ties in really well with the rest of the design, but I'd maybe like to see it somewhere else. I like the white eyelashes, so I'd maybe even change the white pupils to the blue. Or add it just slightly somewhere else. But it's given me very Toxic Waste vibes. It's quite cool. It's very, very edgy, but in a very cohesive way, I would say. It's very striking. I'd love to know what this character's name is. Sand Dollar. This is a really cute OC. I'm running out of milkshake. And there's no juice in the house. This is very upsetting. Now, I like this OC. I really like the scrunchie around the tail. Or is it the scarf, the scrunchy scarf wrap around the tail? That's really cute. It's also very beachy, which is obviously what this character is going for. Now I'm guessing that the markings on the legs are actually markings and not accessories. I think that's the only thing I would change with its design. While I love characters that have like very unique patterning like this, it ties into like a landscape or something like that. When the rest of the camera, when the rest of the character appears very, very normal and we sort of get to it just sort of down here, it's just the teeniest bit jarring. And I mean that in the nicest way. I love it, I swear. I would need it to be hinted elsewhere, other magical elements, or for a reason why the character's hooves are like this. But again, that would be nitpicky. That would be like sort of my judgment of something if it was to be included in a show. If I were to see this in the background, I'd want to know why or what happened to the legs. I think something that could be really cool idea popping into my head was if this character was a unicorn and had sort of elemental control over water, if these were perhaps prosthetic water limbs. Sort of like that one character in the Legend of Korra. Yeah, no, I really love it. The orange and the blondes and like the lovely bronzing up here. I think maybe this is just a little bit disconnected from the rest of it. The other thing you could do is you could make these socks with a wave pattern on it. Would be quite cute as well. Um, but yeah, I would only change that and perhaps the color of this very, very bright magenta shell as well. I want to look up here, but I'm still continuously drawn back around here. I would maybe change the shell to white. Or change the eye color to the same purple here. But it's such a gorgeous character. She looks so cute. I really love beach themed characters. I've always wanted to have a beach themed character, but my definition of beach and other people's definition of beach is probably not the same. If you've ever been to a beach in Scotland, we're not really talking about white sand, we're talking about rocks and seaweed and rock pools, really, and greys instead of lovely golden sands. You do get golden sand beaches some places in Scotland, but where I was raised, all the beaches were either sort of volcanic or straight up rocks. So I've always felt like a bit of an imposter syndrome when I try to make really sandy beach themed OCs. I love sandy beaches as well. I love the name as well, Sand Dollar. Now, this is a very interesting one. I take another sippy. We have both rocky and sandy beaches here, mostly sandy though. Yeah, we have a pretty even mix. Where I grew up, it was very rocky. Further out, you get quite a lot more sandy, but you also get beaches that are just beaches that are just straight up mud flaps. Oh my god, I cannot speak today. Someone has bewitched me. I'm trying to say mud flats, where you walk on the beach and instead of sand, you're straight up sinking in clay and mud. Now, this OC looks like he's straight off of a medieval tapestry, which is really cool actually. It's really quite cool. I like the unicorn horn. I'm going to guess that this is some form of Karen. Yeah, the unicorn Karen hybrid. I also have a unicorn Karen hybrid. It's a very fun hybrid to work with. I love the medieval touches we have here. Like the old medieval jousting style horse blanket and stuff like that. It's very nice. I think I would have actually appreciated this take of Karen's in the main show. It's very nice. I love the secondary horns with the main unicorn horn and the scales and the bearded, very classic unicorn look, but can also be interpreted as sort of like a dragon's chin horn. What would I change? I don't think realistically anything really needs changed. The blue in the nose is out there, but if we're taking into account that this creature is obviously part Kieran and dragon and stuff, then this sort of makes sense that it's not quite horsey up front. I think I would maybe reduce the fluff that we've got here on the legs. I'd maybe blend this a bit more in a gradient down, just so it's not so segmented. But otherwise, this is really cool. I love the snowflake patterns. I'm loving the overall winter fire vibes going on here. It's really nice. The color palette is really solid as well. I really don't think I could realistically say this needs changed upon looking at it. It's really lovely. Really, I would love to see this character drawn as if on a woven tapestry. I think that would be really cool. Now, this character is technically not a pony. However, I debated putting it in because it was not a pony, but if we look at the art style, it looks like it could be out of the My Little Pony world. I'm sorry, look at it. She looks like she could be in the show. She also has a cutie mark. And I love it. I love this design. It's so cool. I want to know more. I actually have no notes. I included it just to say this looks cool and could be part of the pony universe and I would like to know more. Please give me more. She looks like she could just do something horrifying, turn around. Like she could be speaking to someone in a royal court, do something absolutely horrifying, like drain her meal of its life or whatever in a very Sparty-like fashion, then delicately wipe her face with a napkin and go, "Excuse me," as if nothing terrible has happened at all. She's so lovely. Purple, my friend, how are you? We look at the spider pony and we love. Do you like the spider pony? I don't even think it is yeah, the spider. I don't. She's not a pony at all. I love it. I love the furry little boots. I want to know if she likes ponies and she just gave herself that little cutie mark just to fit in. But yeah, she's really cute. I love this character. Put her in a TV show at once. I mean it. Put her in a TV show at once. Princess Cuddlewebs. Oh. Lovely. Give me more. That's my Susunki. If I'm saying your name right, I'm so sorry. The spitter is amazing. She's lovely. Well done. She does look straight out the show. Your head's been pounding for a week? Oh, I know. I had a migraine yesterday. My gammas. Oh, I love you. You'll see like this. Me too. Me too. Astroville. Now, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab myself a juice so I can keep sipping and keep talking. Because I've run out of milkshake. I'll be right back, I promise. Did anyone hear how hard I had to wrench that door there? I was almost locked into my own living room without even a lock. What do you usually do for headaches? Tell me your secrets. Anodin. Literally no other painkiller in the world works for my headaches. It has to be Anodin every single time. Specifically Anodin headache tablets. But no, I totally feel you on the headache things. I suffer really badly with like migraines. Um, yeah, Anodin, complete darkness, no noises whatsoever. I usually stick on um earplugs and an eye mask for sleeping, and Anodin, and wait it out that way. Occasionally an ice pack if it's turning into a migraine. Oh, I'd love a lobotomy. Anyway, this character is really cute. I love this cutie mark going on down here. It's very unique. She's giving me serious Fluttershy vibes. Fluttershy vibes. And when I say serious, I mean literally. She's got a serious expression on her face, but she reminds me of Fluttershy. It is an excellent cutie mark. It's so well designed. Speaking of ailments, how are you and yours holding up after that run of murky luck? Um, we've just had a huge bit of help from my grandparents actually. Um, I'll close this OC for a moment while I talk about this. We just had a huge amount of help from my grandparents. My grandparents just sold their home of 50 years. They built it from absolutely nothing. It was a really, really sad sale. And the house went for astronomical amounts of money that we didn't even think it would go for. And they've been really generous and have given us quite a chunk to get the worst of our repairs done in the house, which is such an astronomical help. It's ridiculous. They've moved into their new home. They made quite. I mean, but they bought their house for 40,000 in the 70s, and that was a big chunk of land and a ruin. So they built the house from scratch, and they've just sold it for 500,000. And they've went and bought their new house. So they've bought a new house that needs nothing done to it. Again, we're all. I mean, it sounds like, oh wow, oh my gosh, that's amazing. It's still really, really devastating. Um, the my grandparents' old house is where I grew up. It's where my parents grew up. There wouldn't be another place like it ever. It was in the middle of nowhere. It was all by itself. The most gorgeous grounds, river at the bottom of the garden. My gramps used to have me drive the tractor behind him as he walked the field looking for any stones that he'd dug up. It was just the most unique experience you could really get in modern Scotland. And the sale, it wasn't because there was anything wrong with the house, just my grandparents were becoming too old to live there. I mean, when you have to drive to just like 4 miles to get to the nearest town and no help and you're getting older, I mean, it was a huge risk having them there. I mean, in the winter, they'd be cut off by snow and ice, they would be stuck in the house for months with no way to get out. It was, it was just too dangerous now. So they did the sale, and it's really, really sad, but it's also been such a help to us to have this little bit of money to get the most immediate things done in the house. It's not a massive astronomical. We can only really do a few things because of how expensive our repairs are, but it's been such a massive help. So yeah, it sold for a lot, but it was very bittersweet, and there was an incident with the new owners. On the day my grandparents were leaving, they turned up, and they kind of forced them out of the house, and they didn't give them a chance to say goodbye. And they actually ended up leaving quite a lot of their stuff behind, because they didn't want to impose on the new owners. They're very old-fashioned, my grandparents, and they're very kind, and they weren't expecting the new owners until the next day after they'd moved out, but they turned up, and yeah. So I feel very sad that they didn't get those last minutes to say goodbye, but they are doing really well in their new house. And the new house is gorgeous as well. It's very lovely, and we're hoping we can keep that one in the family when the time comes. We'd been really hoping to keep the current, like the old one, but that just wasn't possible. None of us would have been able to afford the old one, not a long shot. I mean, my family isn't rich, my grandparents weren't rich. It just so happened that over the years, what they had bought blew up in value. So it was just, yeah, yeah, the whole thing was, wow, to say a word. But anyway, back to the review. I really like this character. I really love that we've got the gold in the hooves going on into the eyes. I love that the white and the cutie mark is again in the wings. The only thing I would change is perhaps this chest marking. It feels a little bit too much. But that's about it. Otherwise, this design is really, really solid. Like, really gorgeous. Again, I'm just so in love with that cutie mark. I recognize this style. I do believe that a cheeky pony drew this style. Thank you, thank you. um, let me just have a look at this over. So this character originally looked like this, and then transformed into this, and seems to take features after Luna and Celestia. So if accident becomes immortal, it seems like she accidentally imprinted on Luna and Celestia. I wonder how she did that. Without a horn. Oh, what can I say here? I don't know which one to. I don't know which design to comment on. This or this or this is very cute. I really love earthy tones. This is very, very bright and very different from the original. It would have been quite nice, I would think, to maybe keep some aspects of the original design in her immortal design. I think it's very well drawn. Shiki's done a great job in this sheet. I love the sort of the hair style is very similar, just longer. Probably because she's grown it out over the years. Her appearance spell gave her a cutie mark, which is why this, yeah. Oh, I don't know what to say about this. The design's really solid on both designs. I think the only thing I would do differently is I'd add hooves. I know, I'm sorry. I like hooves on ponies. I'm sorry. I think that's it. It's very solid. There's not much I can say when the design's solid. Have we done my boy Penumbra yet? No, we have not. At least I don't think so. Do a quick scroll. Nope. Is this him here? Or here? These look like a penumbra. There he is. Which one? He was the white alicorn. Yeah, he's on the stream. I promise we'll get to him. I promise. Alright, onto this one. This is a GIF, so I think I just took a screenshot of the GIF. Very, very simple design. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's giving me... No, you're not a bother at all. No, it's not a bother at all. Yeah, with the previous OC? Yeah, I'll read that aloud because that's a very good point. The new appearance looks more like an accidental, like magic bond or similar, rather than just an unforeseen magical side effect. Yeah, that kind of sums up my own feelings on it very, very well. Yeah, like a magic bond to these two rather than like sort of taking this design and turning it immortal. I agree. Very interesting. I'd like to know the stories of how the spell linked her to them. It could just be a case of the person just really likes the princesses and wants an OC that reminds them of the princesses, which is, you know, fair enough. Very cute nonetheless. Now, this character, she's given me very, almost, she reminds me of a burger in the sweetest possible way. She reminds me of a burger. Her coat color reminds me of a brioche burger bun. The animation for this is very cute. I just took a screenshot of it so that I wasn't having to play it on loop. Her eyes match the little green here. I would say the only thing I would change is, and this is a personal thing, I'm not a huge fan of red hooves on most pony designs. Some of them I really like, but I'm not a huge fan of red on most. And It's ridiculous, and I'll tell you why. This is purely please aim all the guns at me at this moment in time. Um, it makes me feel like they've been trotting in ketchup. And I'm not a big fan of ketchup, and I'm sorry, and it makes no sense. I'm sorry. Um, it's my own personal thing that I can't stop thinking about. I think it's because I once witnessed a kid walking around in ketchup, and the aftermath of that is sort of what it reminds me of. But I would maybe change for my own preferences. I'd maybe change the hooves to a sort of darker amber orange, like the coat, or um, or a goldy color. I just not red. It's the only thing I would change. A very sweet design, very cute, and the little animation she does is very cute as well. Now I take another sip. Yeah, the green accessory being a little bit bigger would be quite nice too. I agree. This does remind me of cotton candy as well. I agree. Spike and his ketchup covered feet are at it again. No. No. I don't know why. There's a few designs I've seen with the red hooves that that really suit them, and you know I'm not saying this doesn't suit it. I'm just saying on simpler designs it just reminds me of walking on ketchup just a little bit. Um, but no, she's so sweet looking though. I promise this is me just being weird. That this character is really cute. I'm trying to play. I know this artist. I don't know the name, but I know this artist. Um, there's not much I would change in this one either. The blue mouth is certainly a choice. It's not an out of the left field choice, but I've seen it before. I see it especially in the furry communities and designs that from designers that are in both pony and furry. With the changed mouth color. I see it a lot on changelings as well. I think it looks really cool in changelings, especially. Um, this design is really cute. There's not much I can say because the colors all match together very nicely. I would say the only thing I would like to see more of is perhaps another bit of purple somewhere else. I think that's the only thing I would say. I but yeah, I would like to see the cutie mark for this character. The hair shape's really nice. It does cover this eye a little bit in this particular pose, but it is really nice. I do like the white breaking up the mane into the little segments. It reminds me more of like lightning shooting through cotton candy, if that makes sense. It's really cute. But yeah, I would like to see just a smidge of purple somewhere else in the design, is all I would say. Now, this character immediately reminds me of, and no, I say this wrong every single time. I pronounce it vitiligo. I don't know if it's actually pronounced vitiligo. And I'm also sorry if you can hear my partner screaming in the background. I'm going to assume that they've lost another game. Now, this character's, you know, despite the contrasts, despite it being very busy, this actually works really nice. This also reminds me of that one character we saw in the IDW comics. I think in the G5 IDW comics. I love her crystal form. That's really cute. I love the cutie mark. I really love how the back of this hair has been drawn. Just how lovely and swoopy this all is. And you can make out the shape and imagine how this would look in your hands. It's really lovely. I think the only thing I would change is that her tail is very, Her mane is very unique, and her tail is rarities. I'd like to maybe see an original tail shape that's maybe quite similar to this lovely drawn back of the mane. Just to keep going with how individual her design is. Um, I think that's the only thing I would change. She's deeply cute, and I really love the hints. And perhaps the OC's owner does have vitiligo or does have different differences in their skin. I know I have differences in my skin that I sometimes want to translate into my OCs, and I don't know how. Um, yeah, the tail shape. I agree. Luck of the claws. I think the tail shape. It would be really nice if we had something a little bit softer and more akin to the main shape. It'd be really lovely. Perhaps even the fishtail braid that echoed this sort of pattern going down. But she's really cute. She does remind me of Rarity and Sweetie Belle. Um, Not even just in looks, just like an overall aesthetic and vibe. I also really love her crystal form bow. I would even be tempted to include that in her like usual bow. It's really cute. Now another brown pony. I am a big fan of earthy coloured ponies. Um, I really love the wings in this one. Okay, I'm taking a sip because my throat is failing me. I love their pants. Yeah, I love their like how they've got little they got their apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur, everybody looking at her. It's really cute. What would I change? Um, the purple is in the eyes as well. I wouldn't change that. I would maybe change the dark muzzle. I think is the only thing I would change. My reason for why is that I quite like how the design fades from light into the dark, and then having another splodge of the dark at the front just takes away from that feature just a little bit. Now, it's a very horsey feature, and I can see this person who's drawn this character is very into real life horses with this sort of more realistic anatomy. So that could certainly be why that choice has been made, and I see it a lot. I just, my personal preference would maybe just to keep that face just perhaps the same body color with maybe some of the freckles introduced with the darker colors instead. Is maybe what I would do, but again, really cute design. Love the cutie mark. It sort of reminds me that maybe she's a little bit dog coded and burying a bone, perhaps, or maybe she has secrets, and it's a metaphor. Very mysterious. Oh, it could be archaeology. I wasn't even thinking about that. Did any of you ever watch Time Team? Because I don't know if it was I actually don't know if Time Team was purely a British thing actually, but I remember used to coming home and I used to, it wasn't the program, it was the fact that my mother watched it again and again, back to back episodes for years of Time Team. I think every single time I came into the house after school, she had Time Team on the TV, and you weren't allowed to change it. Now, I will rate this character as best I can. What I'm going to say outright with this character is this is an unreformed changeling. And as such, he has the same changeling design as the other changelings in the show, except for his accessories. Now, if I were to, I love the green hoodie, by the way. As a number one green fan, I love this hoodie. Um, Now, I'm going to guess that this character is very coded on their owner. When I see designs like this and I see very, very, very specific accessories, I'm thinking of something that this character's owner has in real life that they've added to their character to bond with. Um, and I think what I would do differently is I'd maybe make his carapace, this blue section behind his wing, I'd make it either the purple of his tie or the red of his hat is perhaps the only thing I would change. Because right now he does sort of, kind of, he reminds me of a changeling that's went and found the dress up box. He's been raiding a pony village and he's found the dress up box. He is a love smuggler. Have you noticed that here? I would like to know more about that. How does one smuggle love? Does he smuggle ponies back to the hive from out of Equestria? It's a very interesting concept. But yeah, I think I would change either the carapace or the colour of the tie. I would change these to either match more of what's going up around here. But it's really nice to see a changeling character. I had a changeling character I was really attached to, but when times became hard, I did pass her on to a better home for some cash. So I would need to make a new one now if I wanted one of my own. Oh, another sippy. Hello, banana pie. I also adore wing gradients. She does remind me of Skyla. She very much reminds me of the Skyla toy that came out. She reminds me of Cadence and Skyla, and very cute design. Very obviously not Cadence, but very obviously similar in colours to Cadence. Um, Without saying her eye color, I would like to hope that her eye color is either yellow or purple. But I mean, the design's solid. It's a tried and tested color palette. It's a very solid design. I can't complain about it at all. I love the little curliness in her hooves as well. These little soft curls going up here. That's really cute. This art style is also adorable. It's really nice. Um, but yeah, very cute design. Think if I were to change anything else, perhaps a gold accessory or a silver accessory. Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know. A gold hooves would also be really nice. Tie in with the sort of the nice sort of yellow gold in the main. Some gold hooves would be quite nice. Interesting. Hee hee. Very cute. Now let us bask in the magnificence of another Kirin while I take a sip. It's nice, isn't it? It's a really nice colour palette as well, and I really like how it's been laid out on the side of the ref sheet. I also know that style. I'm pretty sure this is by Software Pony. I am pretty sure it's yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Software Pony. Now, this is a gorgeous character. I'm just going to say it right, it's gorgeous. Um, Very, very unique take on Karens. I actually really like when, again, this is a Karen unicorn hybrid. I really like the ponytail. If like here, this cutie mark is gorgeous. This is a really lovely cutie mark. After I tried to learn how to draw cutie marks myself, I'm actually very appreciative of really solid cutie mark designs. Because they're actually so hard to do. It's a balance of telling yourself not too simple, not too complex. Um, which can certainly be a fight for some people. Goodness, yawn came out of the left field. Yeah, software has a very lovely style. Yeah, I love the dainty little hooves software does. Yeah, I love this character. I think the only thing I would change is if you were to take away all the lines and stuff, this would be very, very blurred together. I love the horn. I would leave the horn as is. I would leave the eyes. I would leave the mane. I think I would get rid of the cyan markings in the legs and I would change the body to one color only, so that this beautiful mane and tail stood out as a really lovely feature. I would keep the dark gradient going down the hooves, however, because it just looks so lovely. And I would perhaps get rid of the gradient in the ear. As much as I love it, I really want this to be very focused here and feel really magical, but maybe, I don't know, I'm on the fence with that one myself. I love how sparkly and glittery this character is. It's gorgeous. And I love the texturing software it's done. But yeah, I think to keep this design, you know, readable, I would get rid of the cyan blue in the hooves. And I would keep this something fixed up here. I would even be tempted to make the outline of the hair the cyan colour to make it sort of glowy. Otherwise, it's such a gorgeous design though. And the reference sheet is very well done too. There was a Lyric version of this character as well, which was lovely. But I only had time to review one picture. Genuinely, that's why I've only successfully made one cutie mark, and that's the smoking flask. Yeah, cutie marks are hard. They're harder than they look. They look so simple, and then you go to do it, and then you realize, oh, this is a little bit harder. I think it's because cutie marks are almost stepping into logo design territory. I think if you were to learn logo design, which is what I've been trying to learn a little bit of in the background, then cutie marks become easier. But yeah, this is very well done. Very cute. Another sip. Oh, how many have we got to go? Because my throat is hurting. Oh wow. We're just over the halfway mark. I really love the crystalline hoof structure going on here. It's really nice. Very nice colours for this one. I should say a little bit of gore warning for the background. There is some cuts and bruises up there. This character, this character could be a Fallout Equestria character, I'm not sure. Usually when I see this sort of vibe, I'm thinking character that's come from the Fallout Equestria verse. But that's just generic, that's just me imagining things. I really love the mane comes back in this gradient into the face. I love that this topaz material is echoed in the eyes. But we can see that their origins as an earth pony, they still have this lovely pumpkin cutie mark. It's really cute. I do like how it winds down the leg. It's giving me very like nostalgia vibes from earlier gens. This art style is also gorgeous. It's very pretty. What I would change, I think the only thing I would change is the lighter outer ears. I would keep them, I would turn them perhaps this chestnutty colour we've got going on in the midsection instead of a closer colour to the mane, just so they don't get lost in the mane, if that makes sense. But I think that's the only thing I would change. It's a really gorgeous character. I really want to know more about this crystalline hoof structure going on here. Perhaps forest elemental, yeah. Now again, this character, I'm going to guess that these individual things are tied to the OC's owner. There's a lot going on with differences here. See, the heart is echoed in the eye, but the eye, one thing I would say is that when you're doing red and green in a design, you have to be quite careful. They are opposite sides of the colour wheel, so they do look jarring next to each other by nature. So I'm not sure if this character's been... there's a lot to say about this character. What I would change... I would probably get rid of the green. I would probably keep this yellow mane. And I would add, I see we've got one hoof here fluffy in the background and then metallic augmented on the front. I would continue this fluffiness throughout the other feet as well, so it's just not left alone here at the front. I love the little necklace though. This is a very nice necklace. But yeah, I would perhaps change that. I would also maybe make the blue on the shield doesn't appear anywhere else, so I would actually make the shield the same grey as the forelimb here. Um, I'd desaturate this red in the heart just a little bit, and I'd perhaps make the dragon or serpent around it the same green that we see inside the medallion of the clover. Um, and that's sort of all I would change really. The design is there. We just need to just do a little bit, just a little bit of work to it. But I'm going to guess that a lot of these choices have been made in reference to the OC's actual owner themselves. Um, which that's sort of what an original character is. That they're usually reflections of their owners and what their owners like and such a thing. But if I were to tweak this for myself, I would just change it a little bit. My partner has brought me juice. Let us rejoice.
No, I didn't bring you yet. I'll see when you want me to go to the shops and get.
Oh, boo! Never mind, they have not brought me juice, but they are going to get me juice, so yay. Yay, juice? I agree. Juice is very yay. Okay, we do not need the sound effects in the background. I really hope my mic got that. Sometimes I wish I had my partner's talent for voice acting because they can do every sound possible at the exact it doesn't. Yeah, I can't do it. Oh my gosh, there's a yawn stuck in my throat that's trying to come out. There it is. Found it. Slumber party. It's like Celestia and Pinky had a baby. It's very unique. Do you know what? She could be like an alicorn of dreams or something. You know when little kids have dreams and they're like in a big, massive, bouncy castle the size of a castle? And she looks like she came out of Mario Kart to become alicorn of little children's dreams. She's really cute. Slumber Party gives me that, the name gives me that vibe as well. Princess of Fun. Princess of Fun, sugary treats, and bad teeth. Because her sugary treats are going to melt your teeth. Again, this character I've said this before, when I see designs like this, especially with the rainbow crawling down the leg, I'm instantly convinced that the owner of this OC is on Instagram. The rainbow down the leg thing, it was such a trend on Instagram the last few years, even still. And it's a gorgeous feature. It actually really works for this character. I don't love it in all characters, but I quite like it in this character. She is a little bit too busy for my taste, but for what she is, I can't bring myself to change anything. I really like the marshmallows in her hair. I can't bring myself to change a thing. It's so busy, but I kind of love it for what it is. She kind of looks like she came out of the Game Loft pony game. Even the little, bits of her hair that are coming down. They remind me of the candy bracelets you used to get. You know, the bracelets that were made with the little love hearts of candy pieces that you could eat. It reminds me of that. I think if I were to change anything at all, just to make it just slightly less wah, is I'd maybe get rid of the sprinkles here in the white of the hooves is all I would do. is all I would change. I would also maybe change the eye color to something slightly more striking so it doesn't get too lost in all this detail. Perhaps one of these shades of blue or green down here in this necklace. Um, that's all I would change really. It's really well done. We didn't have hearts with round beads of candy. It might have just been round beads of candy. It was a very long time since I've seen a candy jewelry bit of necklace or anything. But yeah, very cute. Beetles, ladybird, draft horse, very cute, much like. I love the body shape. I really like it when people do OCs with the more unique body shapes we saw on the show. I think this OC shape is based off of Trouble Hooves, I think. Very cute base design. I think what I would change in this one is the green and the red are very different, but it kind of works for the beetle theme. However, I would keep it located on the hair. And I would maybe keep the hooves more natural. This guy is obviously a bit more of a nature guy. No, it's like it's a very like borderline orange red here. I don't have my this one's red and it's because the red and the ladybirds are much more scarlet red. This is a very like borderline tomato red here. I'd maybe keep his very beetle coloured coded hair as it is up here. I wouldn't change that. I don't think, however, I'd mirror on the hooves. I'd keep this guy's hooves a bit more natural to echo his more nature theme. I'd maybe give him an accessory. Perhaps a red checkered scarf or something like that. Or I'd change his eyes to a very similar shade of green on the mane. But it's a really lovely character. It's very I've got a very soft spot for draft horses, so yeah. I think that's the only thing I would change. Now this one. Now I don't know what this cutie mark says. I know it says something, but I don't know what it says. So I can't really say anything about it. This character does definitely remind me of like the 2015 Dragon Pony trend. It's very nostalgic. I kind of like it. I think the only thing I would do differently, this is the same thing I say for all Dragon Ponies, is I would elongate the body to better accommodate lizard features inherited from the dragon. I think that's the only thing I would change, really, anatomy-wise. I think, I think I'd like to see a different eye color as well. Perhaps a green. Again, to reflect the more dragon lizard stuff going on. Maybe. You always associate sort of greens with dragon lizard sort of things, like dragony lizardy. I'm saying dragon lizard because I think this is probably dragon, but you never know. There's maybe something else going on. I think that's the only thing I would do differently. Very nice reference sheet. I love how these scales have been rendered on the front. And it's actually quite helpful when you've got a pony with very large wings to see the underside. Sorry, I know I'm going very fast through these ones compared to the last stream. It's just there is so much to get through. I'm going to leave you with this beautiful specimen on the screen while I quickly go to the bathroom. I know for a fact Cowboy Pony drew this. I know that style is gorgeous. I'm going to leave you with this for 2 seconds. I will be right back. Oh my gosh, it's so warm here. If my audio is a little bit different, it's because I've turned the fan on. It's that time of night where the sun's gone away and the brick has started to release all the heat. It's horrible. Image search leads to be kanji, meaning kami in Japanese, but it can also mean something like darkness. Oh, based on the edginess of the previous OC, I'm inclined to believe that you're right about the darkness being the meaning here. This OC does give me very edgy vibes with the theme and the colours, the monochrome combined with rainbow combined with black. Very much reminds me of very alt edgy OC. Now, edgy's not bad, I said this last stream too. I'm just saying that that's what it reminds me of. So you're probably right there. Thank you for doing the image search. I had to bask in this fan for a second. I actually can't think straight, it's so hot. I thought autumn was descending upon us last week and then suddenly summer came back and whopped us in the side of the head. It's horrible. My partner has returned with juice. I can hear them. I long for the juice. Please give me some. This design is so lovely. It's very busy, but it's quite lovely. I love this leg wrap going on. I'm not sure if it's a prosthesis or not, but it's gorgeous. Juice? Yay! Ribs, look at this one.
Oh, I like that one.
I know, it's lovely, innit?
I love the hair on that.
I know. I used to do one of these with you sometimes so I can take a break from all the talking.
Me,
Yeah.
the most you'll get out of me in a review sense is I like that one. Or, nah.
Maybe not then. You'll probably get us cancelled.
I'll make fun of them because I'm like bald or something.
No, okay, you'll definitely get us cancelled. Goodbye.
No, can't cancel you because it's not you that's done it, it's me.
Okay. Anyway. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm taking a break here. I didn't realise how out of breath I was until I stopped speaking. I think it's supposed to be a prosthetic considering it's actually thinner than the leg. I agree. I agree. I do really love it. It's quite busy, but it works. There's honestly nothing I would change. I think the only thing I would change is maybe the Pyra necklace, something a little bit more simplified, just because we've got already a lot going on. But I would dream of being this good at character design. I feel underqualified to talk about this. Cowboy Pony does amazing designs. I don't know if Cowboy's designed this one or has just drawn it, but I'm going to lean towards designing because they've done a lot of OC designs lately and their designs are always fabulous and this is no different. I love the detail in this book as well. I wish I had patience to do this anymore. I've been working through an art block for about 3 years straight now and I wish I had the patience to draw something this beautiful. It's gorgeous. I'm going to sneeze. I'm so sorry. I can feel it coming. There it goes. cow pony. Digestive biscuit is out. Okay, big up consistently because digestive biscuits are brilliant. Good biscuit. Very, very nice biscuit. Bless you. Thank you. um, I'm going to, with this very specific background story. I'm going to say that this character is a complete Sona for its owner, and this is basically the owner in character form. It's very cute. I think the only thing I would do differently is this tail is a different color to the hair that we see anywhere else in the design. Um, I would change the tail to be the same color as what's on the head here. And I think that's it. I think that's it. I can't say anything else, that's all I would do. The heart marking on the chest is very cute. Sometimes wears lashes. Cow pony hybrid, yeah. I think the only thing I would change is the tail. The bull ring is really cute. Yeah, I like Jaw's character sometimes. I'm going to go out on a... Yeah. I don't know what it is, but see, when I see this hairstyle, do you know what it is? It reminds me of someone called Prince Whatever, who is a musician. I'm seeing here this person is also a musician. It must be the brown blonde hair highlights is very in for the music scene, from what I have seen. So I'm glad I connected those dots. Not that I'm saying that this character looks like Princess Whatever's whatever. No, I'm more meaning that I know of the music trend of that hairstyle, and I was like, yeah, okay. 10 out of 10. No, this character is very cute. Very simple. I'm a big softie for simple designs. Not only are they brilliant on my broken hand, but they're just nice to look at, you know. Hi, I'm back. What did I miss? You missed a couple of UC reviews, and then I sneezed, and I don't know why I'm turning it into a song. And I got juice. That was the most important thing. I got juice. This is really cute though. As a big ponytail wearer, I'm very fond of horses with ponytails. Really cute. Um, what would I change? What would I change? There's no red anywhere else in the design, except here and in here. I'd maybe add another bit of red somewhere. Perhaps a little love heart on the bauble to mirror the key mark just a little bit. Like one of those hair ties that has like a little charm on it. I think that would be really cute. But otherwise, there's not really much I can say because it's a very solid character design. It's really cute. No, I don't think red streaks in the mane. I think that would ruin the softness. No, I think a little charm somewhere. But yeah, again, another beach pony, super cute. Or a bracelet, yeah. A bracelet or a little gemstone earring. Yeah, something like that. Or a little choker necklace or something. Really cute. Much whimsy. Very joyful. Loaf. Loaf spotted. Baguette. This character's French. I accuse thee. No, it's gorgeous, I'm joking. I love the detail. So someone has definitely been around sheep to get these horns as spot on as this. Because they really do be curling like that. Especially right round the ear, as tight as that too. I really love this design. It's so earthy. I love the red and the hair. And you know what? Just the purple, even though it's all on its own, it doesn't offend me because it does break up a palette of very similar hues to bring us back to the face. So it doesn't offend me being the only colour of this shade on the palette. It actually works really well. The freckles are super cute. They actually remind me of my mom. My mom's covered in freckles on every inch of her body like this. But very cute. Another cow. Very cute again. I really like this design. This is gorgeous. What would I change? Um, I would maybe make the pink of the nose a little bit more peachy coloured. And, maybe the diamond gem in the centre somewhere else. Just somewhere else, just a little bit. Oh, yeah, like an ear tag. You're right. I also really like that the chest reminds me of an acorn. The little chest pattern here. If that's intentional, that's really cute. But no, very lovely. Really makes me want to design my own cow. We'll see. Now, I think this might be an original species. I was about to say closed species, but I do mean original species. I'm just that brain rotted from back in the 2017 DeviantArt days. I made her next gen adopt with an ear tag once. She was both the horse and the jockey. Imagine if being a jockey was an actual thing in the My Little Pony universe, that you had horses that just basically stood on and surfed on other horses racing. It would be so weird. Now this OC kind of reminds me of with the six legs. Reminds me of, I'm probably going to butcher this pronunciation. I'm so sorry. Sleipnir, the horse from Norse mythology. But this segmented bit down here is giving me more beetle vibes. And the tail's on fire. So I'm not quite sure what the context of this all is, but design-wise, it's quite cohesive actually. I quite like the red invading in these hooves here. It's very striking. It's a very nice feature. Like, I do look at it and it does stand out, but it doesn't offend me in any way. Like, it doesn't make me think, oh, that shouldn't be there. I would, I don't know what I would change. I feel like I need more context. It has 8 legs, yeah. Sleipnir has 8 legs, yeah. Just the multi-legged. I do love mythology. I love mythology. I need to brush up on it again. I'm really bad for learning things and then forgetting what I learned. In quite a small time frame, actually. So I'm getting like beetle vibes from this character, from the palette as well, from these sort of jewel tones you see a lot in beetles. I think if I were to change anything, I think it would maybe be the hair. I'd be tempted to change the hair to something more similar to the white, or this sort of lilac-y whitish colour in the underbelly. I don't know enough to say what's going on with the flame tail. It's quite a nice concept. I'd maybe like to see a larger flame Perhaps. But very interesting. I need to know more. Another changeling. Let us rejoice. Yeah, I feel like if you're to like anything more than 6 legs and a pony would probably be pushing the limit, I think. I love unreformed changeling designs, I really do. This one's very edgy. I really like the beetleish armor going on here. I don't think I would change anything. This would perhaps this white underlayer here at a push. But yeah, I like the red of the wings too. I really wish in the show we'd had some diversity among the unreformed changelings, like and how they look. Like I know they all look exactly the same, but different shades and hues would be quite cool. It's definitely something I'd quite like to do a little redesign project of one day, of what I would have in my head for like the unreformed changeling drones. Honeycrisp Blossom. Let me see. Oh my gosh, she's a Cadence and Big Mac next gen? That's really cute. I've not seen that one before. Oh, that's a really cute concept. Yeah, I can see it. She's got like the flower, but like the heart is like the center of the flower. That's really cute. I don't think I could change anything. She's too pretty. She looks exactly how a blend of her parents would look. I think the only thing I would add is see her little love heart here. Perhaps a cute little love heart hair clip. A small love heart hair clip to mirror that red somewhere else in the design. But that red totally does tie back to Big Mac. I mean, I'm pretty sure that is the same colour as his red, actually. But yeah, that's a really cute next gen. From the name to everything, that's a solid next gen design. She looks so sweet as well. But she does give me the vibe that she could be one of those kids that looks absolutely sweet and adorable and then turns around and says something absolutely diabolical. Right, this boyo. I'm not blessed to know the artist of this one. I want to. If you all know who it is, send me a link, please. I don't know if my Twitch is set up to filter out links, but please try. Now, this boyo, I really love this design. He reminds me of a moth. With the wings. Like a, yeah. Like a solar eclipse moth. He's really well designed. Pretty sure his owner is in here, actually. The luck of the claws. I believe this is your guy, is it not? He has umbrum wings. Very nice. He's a Celestia Sombra kid, I assume. Yes, you. I really love it. Very well. I love the wings. They're a little bit busy, but you know it still works. Especially Sombra was extravagant. I expect his son to be nothing less. I think the only thing I would change is I would introduce this pale gold of the eye somewhere else in the design, perhaps maybe etching and engravings on the royal engravings on the armor somewhere, or a gradient in the very fiery orange sections of the mane. But otherwise, I have no notes. He's gorgeous. I really like the unique body shape he has. It still resembles Canon style, but it's a very unique body shape all of his own. So really nice. Very, very nice. He'd be a wicked candidate for some very dramatic, dark style art. In general, it's fine. Thank you, Willow. I know this pony and I can't remember the username because I'm absolutely useless, but she's so cute. She looks like... She reminds me of Banoffee Pie. Like the name Banoffee Pie. Sent it. Thank you. She's so cute. She looks like she could be like a perfect mascot, or she does look like she could be a character in My Little Pony. I mean, look at her. So cute. A very cohesive design as well. I think the only thing I would change in this design is the pink and the secondary feathers. I would actually maybe turn it to this darker yellow, amber, orange in the lips. Perhaps. Just so we can make her pink quite a bit of a feature. And so it's like, wow, look at this pink in her hair. Instead of sort of like the pink being everywhere, and it sort of dilutes the sort of novelty of it. But she's so cute. She's very... I literally... I would... Like, this is a character I'd love to draw. I probably... Yeah. And I like how, like, it's very hard to make an OC that is yellow and pink without making it a Fluttershy clone. Because Fluttershy's design is so simple and so iconic and so well known, it's almost impossible to do, but this character doesn't feel like Fluttershy. She doesn't feel nervous or anything like that. The brown in her hair, the green of the eyes. She looks like she could be related to Fluttershy, but she doesn't make me think that this is a Fluttershy clone. She does like seem like a character of herself and not just a Fluttershy clone. And it's the one thing I value the most about people's OCs is that they're unique and they are their own characters. I love when characters are inspired by like show characters, but it's really nice to see a character that is of itself, if that makes sense. And this gives me that. Another candy corn OC. I've seen quite a few candy corn OCs over the years. Again, the palette's there. I wouldn't really change it. I mean, for me, candy corn colors are very, very bright. And I would maybe lower or soften these colors just a little bit. So it's not quite so literal to the sweet, I think. We don't actually have candy corn in the UK. I tried it for the first time a couple of years ago, and I'm really sad to say that it's not my favorite sweet. I'm so sorry. I think candy corn's made of corn syrup. It's not really a thing we use in sweets in the UK. It's corn syrup. So it's got a very different flavour to it that I'm just not used to. But it's a solid design. I mean, the only thing I would do is I would desaturate these colours a little bit. I would still keep it up in the bright end of the colour spectrum. I wouldn't grey out the hue. I would just desaturate it so it's a little bit less neon. Just a little bit. And then good to go. She'd make a really cute background pony for a Halloween episode or something. Another brown pony, let us rejoice. I enjoy horse-coloured horses. Hee hee hee. I really enjoy horse-coloured horses. I have actually no notes. I don't know. I think if I were to do anything, I would maybe change this character's eye color to maybe one of the colors in the cutie mark, and that's maybe about it. I literally can't say anything else. Give him hooves. Hang on, I can say something else. Give this man fluffy hooves. All horses deserve fluffy hooves. Again, it's totally because I'm not biased towards horses with fluffy hooves. It's totally not because of me. I really love the hair in this one. I mean, if I were to draw this on my OG style and fully render it in a painting, I think I'd maybe cry, but just because of my poor dead hand and not because it looks horrible. It actually looks really lovely. I like how the yellow has been softened into the blue by the addition of like the darker peachy pink gradient at the bottom. It softens it so it's more like a sunset rather than just a railway sign or something. You know, over here the railway signs we have are navy blue with yellow. But with the addition of the peach gradient and the yellow highlights, I really like it. It's really lovely. It's very royalty vibes. Her cutie mark's really lovely. I love that it matches the blue of her eyes. What would I change? I'd maybe like to, I don't know, the yellow and her hair is very busy. So I'm not sure if I would add another accessory actually, just because her hair is so busy it would make the design look a little bit too much. I'd maybe make the eyes yellow. Oh, I don't know. This one's really hard. This one's quite hard to say without actually fiddling around with it myself in a drawing app, I think. Bye, Willow. Thank you for coming. Have a good day at work. Or I'd make the little bird song notes yellow. Oh, I don't know. Very difficult. I love the character though. Quite the challenge to say what I would do with her. I feel like I would do something, but I don't know what. I can't put my finger on it. Again, the cutie mark design's lovely. Very well done. Very cute. Gosh, yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't even think I would add fluffy hooves to this one. She's fine the way she is. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm stuck. I'm actually stuck. No, I think I wouldn't change. I can't say for certain what I would change. So, in that case, she's perfect. Oh my gosh, is that it? We have reached the end. We did it. A little bit too dark. I don't know. I think it's because a lot of people are used to in the show seeing very pastel coded ponies. I quite appreciate the dark characters. She reminds me of a pony that you'd maybe see in Luna's court back in the day. Perhaps in the night court, if that was a thing. Gorgeous. But we've officially reached the end. How many we did? There's a lot, and I think we did about 60 in today's stream. Just 2 more streams to go, and then we've done with that batch. I may be streaming tomorrow again, but it'll be just me on drawing. I won't be on my mic, so I can focus, because as soon as I start blabbering, my brain shuts off, as you all know. I'm not very good at public speaking. I'm so trying my best. I'm so sorry. But thank you guys very, very much for coming. It's really nice to see everyone's OCs. It's really inspiring to see all the different ideas. And I'm really glad that you guys trusted me to say my 2 cents. No more stream, don't worry. Stream again next Friday. I promise. I hate like nitpicking at people's OCs. It feels so convoluted of me, but I feel like if I just go yes, 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 brilliant, lovely, yes, yes, this would be really boring, and I wouldn't be doing anything constructive. But thank you guys so much for coming. If you're wanting to be notified for next stream and you've not got your Twitch notifications on, my Discord server has opt-in notifications for certain things, so you can go in there and you can turn on what notifications you want to get pinged for. There's no everyone ping in my server. There's separate pings for everything, so that you're only getting what you need to do. And the link for that is in my bio, in my Twitter, or below. I'm pretty sure it's below. Oh my god, it's not below. I've not added it below. Terrible streamer. Right, we'll add it below after the stream. But if you've probably came here from Twitter, you'll find my Discord server in the link there, and we have links for everything and notifications for everything, and you don't have to be bothered by anything you don't like. Anyway, my advertisement is over, I promise. Thank you all for coming. Goodbye!